Good morning, everyone. This is Royce coming back at you with yet another fast food fave. And Felices Pascuas for my fellow enjoyers of rabbits and mutilated carpenters. That was very bad. I'm sorry. Um so this is technically an emergency recording. I am recording it the week before Easter. I'm hoping I'll be able to do something more Easter themed, but if push comes to shove, well, this is why we do these. And if you're watching this and it's not, and Easter isn't tomorrow, then congratulations, I managed to pull something out of my butt in time. So, with that said, today on the docket, we have Taco Jones Nacho Average Rewards Program. Okay, that's cute. Bigger, bolder rewards. Nacho Average Taco Place is actually pretty decent ad campaign, though. It's no Yo Quiero Taco Bell, but it's decent. It's decent. Ugh. You know what's funny is a lot of these places I go to do serve Pepsi products, but with Pepsi tastes so rancid out of the spigot, especially Diet Pepsi. You gotta get it from the bottle or the can. That has the perfect syrup to seltzer water ratio. Anyway, we're having a unprecedented cold wave, or cold. No, they call it a cold snap, don't they? Ironic, given that Frozen Empire just came out. I don't know if I'll go see it. I'm hearing mixed reviews. It's gotta be better than the last one, right? Like, of all the things they bring back Zool and possession sex. Like, come on, guys. You're better than that. Honestly, I would rather you brought back the Ghost BJ. Speaking of which, how old were you when you realized that that Ghost was given a Dan Aykroyd head in his wet dream, I mean. I think I always had an inkling that that was what was going on because I grew up with some messed up films. Like, my dad had no filters when it came to what he watched around us kids. So, Starship Troopers, Aliens, Total Recall. My dad was into kind of that hard-edged sci-fi that also had titties in it, usually. I mean, he was a subscriber to Heavy Metal Magazine for a number of years before the politics became too much for him. I think what he means is that the art style shifted and had a heavy focus on Hispanic culture for a little bit. Like, there's an adaptation of, or there's a painting that's supposed to be reminiscent of Night on Bald Mountain on one of the covers, and it looks very Aztec to me. And then there was this Quetzalcoatl comic where a native woman finds like a light orb and tells people about it, and then the missionaries, beat her up and like, oh, you dare go against Christ. One of those kinds of comics. Speaking of, trying to get things back on track, today we have the 6-pack and a pound. That might be the second I've done today, but but one of y'all really is into the buzz. What is the 6-pack and a pound? It is 6 tacos, hard, soft, or mixed, and a pound of potato olays. Now, what are potato olays? It is a tater tot that has been covered in taco seasoning. It is very salty. Now, You may be like, Royce, this seems like a lot of food for you. It is. Um, However, it's supposed to be a decent deal. Like, it's not really at the moment. This is like $20 nowadays. But when I was a kid, this used to be something my grandma Nancy would always get us because it was a way to feed 3 growing kids that was relatively cheap. I did get both soft shell and hard shell to kind of compare and contrast them. Now, unfortunately, they don't really toast the shells at Taco John's the way they do at Taco Bell, which is weird that Taco Bell is a higher quality of tortilla than Taco John's. But anyway, if we open her up a little bit, you can see that the meat is very soupy. I've said in the past, it's kind of like chili meat where it's just left in a pot and cooks down. There is onions in it and spices, so it is very similar to a chili meat. And they just slop it on a bun, or well, on a tortilla and give it to you, and it's really good. They also add a little of their mild taco sauce to it for extra flavor. Like, you know how everything at Taco Bell tastes the same? Taco John's is similar, but a lot more concentrated. Like, more salt, more spice, and way better taco sauces too. They have a very decent pico de gallo. They've got mild sauce, hot sauce, and not fire sauce, but like a really hot sauce. Sorry, that one was gonna fall apart. Trying to find a hard shell here for contrast. Here we go. My mom just texted me that she's got my duloxetine. So, old Royce hasn't been feeling good the past couple of days. I ran out of my meds last weekend because of this thing, like I think I told y'all before that I was put on a different prescription for her, different dosage. But, well, things went weird. So I'm gonna be a little, but hopefully not today. Hopefully I'm okay. I'm at a good level. Anyway, let's try, now, their corn shells are a lot more interesting to me because, well, one, they stick together easier than the Taco Bell ones, which are a lot less firm. But two, they look to be more of a heartier, like, masa mix? I don't know. They still, however, snap like a twig when you bite into them. Now, I believe I heard somewhere once that the flour tortilla was one of their, was like, is a Tex-Mex invention that it's not actually traditional Hispanic cuisine. And while I can see that, you also have like fry bread, which is like Native American cuisine, and there is some crossover there because, indigenous Mexicans and indigenous Americans, not too dissimilar. And they're all descended from Asians. Or Russians. Eurasian, I guess you'd call it. Siberians. Because they crossed over the Bering Strait to get to Canada, migrated down to the U.S. and into South America. And then these really violent dudes with guns came over. A couple, like about, I don't know, 10,000 years later. My that is not a stain. Well, it is a stain, but it's not a food stain, unfortunately. That is my bloody nose that I had to stifle. I didn't notice it until I started filming. So I love you. Too far in now. So the soft shell is definitely better, IMO. But what about with some of their mild sauce? I'm already starting to get full, so this might be the last one. I think the biggest point of comparison for this is the party pack from Taco Bell, which is like 12 or 13 tacos of either hard or crunchy. But that is a little more expensive, but you also get double the entree. Whereas this has the entree and gives you a side instead. Excuse me. Their taco sauce is a very watery, and I like that in a taco sauce. It's very, it reminds you of like the kind of taco sauce you'd put on a taco when you were a kid. That's exactly it. It's like the taco sauce that you put on your Lunchable. These do taste a lot like Lunchable tacos, like even the weird chili meat. Suddenly these are a lot more nostalgic than even I thought. The Lunchable the taco Lunchable wasn't the best one, but it was up there. I think my ranking goes the pepperoni pizza Lunchable. It's the iconic one. Then the cheese pizza Lunchable. Then the nacho Lunchable. Then the taco Lunchable. And then under that you have the gross stuff like the chicken nuggets, the hot dogs, hamburgers. And those awful crackers. I don't want gross processed turkey and American cheese. I want gross processed pepperoni with white American cheese and tomato sauce on a disgusting, like, very similar to Taco Bell. Lunchables have this, like, weird, what do you call it? It's salty. Oh, all of their food is ostensibly the same, just in different forms. Like, what is the pizza? It's a bread item that you put meat and cheese on, alongside, in that specific case, some tomato sauce. What is the cracker? Something you put meat and cheese on. What is the nacho? Something you put cheese and sauce on. Right. You used to be able to get the sauce at a bar that have all their little sauces, and you could put them in cups to dip your Olays in. Excuse me. But sadly, COVID took that away from us. Anyway, I'm about to do something terrible to finish this off with. Yeah, that was pretty terrible. No, the main ingredient in this is onion. Well, water, then onion puree. Puree. There's more onion than tomato in this sauce. That explains its like tanginess, I guess. But it's not bad for all that. Anyway, that's gonna be it for me today. These are gonna last me throughout the day. And if you find yourself in the Iowa area or anywhere with uh, with a a Taco John's, maybe pick it up as a picnic lunch for you and your family, the way my grandma used to. Taking us to Des Moines from Glenwood, stopping off at the big truck stop in Avoca, Iowa. Ah, memories. Y'all have got with us. Royce Miller. Happy Easter. I'm outie.